Hey everybody, and welcome to the UWA Year 1 Awards Ceremony. We got a few categories here, I do believe 16 in all. So let's get started. So here are the categories. We're going to have the highest ranked is going to be congratulated, the best win percentage, most matches, most wins, most title defenses, most pay-per-view wins, most main events, most pay-per-view main events, and most eliminations. Now, of course, on the jeering side as well, we've got the lowest rank, the worst win percentage, most title opportunities. That's a person who doesn't matter if they win the belts or not. If they've had a lot of opportunities, then that will count for that. Most losses, most pay-per-view losses, and most draws. So let's begin. Most wins was Bron Breakker, so congratulations to him. He knocked it out, I think, with about 28 or 29 victories, the highest of the year. Again, they only wrestle 4 shows a month plus the pay-per-view if they make it to the pay-per-view card. So, quite a few losses, but still overall pretty good. Most losses was X-Pac. X-Pac, I think, only had a record of like 10 and 29, so not too shabby there. Most pay-per-view wins was John Morrison. He would snag a bunch. Up next would be most pay-per-view losses was Chris Jericho. Essentially the first undisputed UWA World Heavyweight Champion. The first main eventer would go on to actually have a terrible year as far as ceremonies or awards are concerned. He would win some belts, but he picks up the most pay-per-view losses here. The most main events would be the Macho Man Randy Savage. So also winning the Intercontinental title this year. He's still scheduled to be around. Of course, John Morrison and Jericho have left the company. So we're interested to see if Macho Man picks up more awards in year 2. Most title wins was Johnny Gargano with 5 Hardcore Championship victories. Yes, I know it's only the Hardcore title, but still, nonetheless, his titles picked up 5. Simon Diamond had 6 most title opportunities. He had 6 shots at becoming champion. I believe it was mostly the Hardcore title. There might have been a TV title in there. If you're following the show, you know the statistics. Most title defenses was Justin Gabriel, who I think racked up 7 title defenses through his multitudes of Hardcore and I think 2-time TV champion. So nice work there. Nobody else came close. Best win percentage was Yokozuna and Bron Breakker. Depending on now, of course, Yoko didn't wrestle as many matches, but what he did wrestle, it equaled the same amount as Bron Breakker, so it's a tie with those 2 individuals. The worst win percentage, I do believe, was only about 15%, and that was Simon Diamond. I believe he had 4 wins total out of 20 losses. He would make a pay-per-view because he did one of his wins was a opportunity to be in the Royal Rumble, but did not do anything of note there. Most draws though was William Regal. He drew I think 7 matches, mostly all on the main show. Nothing on the development show or the B show, if you will, and nothing. I think 1 or 2 at the pay-per-view actually. The most eliminations this year at 7 was Batista. Now next year there will be a category of most eliminations ever, but since it was only the first Royal Rumble, you have to go with basically most eliminations was Batista ever and this year. So far 7. Most matches though go to Nathan Jones, who despite only staying for a year actually had 47 matches. It was Bron Breakker at 45, by the way. 47 matches. He didn't have the best win record. He came close, but not quite. The most pay-per-view main events was a tie between Cody Rhodes and John Morrison. John Morrison had a huge year with the company. The lowest ranked superstar was Giant Gonzalez. He had more victories than Simon Diamond. However, he did not have very impactful. He didn't make it to the Royal Rumble. He did not have it. I think he may have won the Hardcore title once. So he didn't have a very good year. His record, I think, was not very big. A lot of squash matches, very low impact. But who was the superstar of the year? Who was the man that beat everybody else as far as points, necessarily titles, main events? The number 1 ranked superstar was John Morrison. John Morrison had a great year. UWA World Champion, 2-time Intercontinental Champion. I don't believe he went for the U.S. title. He did win the first Royal Rumble. He was a runner-up in the Battle Bowl, which Battle Bowl 2 takes place here shortly, so make sure to check out for that video soon. But there is the award ceremony for the UWA Year 1. See you next year.